Some players absolutely hate each other. Even NBA superstars have tempers that flare or insults that cut deep, and sometimes they go too far. Today, we'll count down 5 NBA rivalries with some serious beef. 5. Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green. Gobert, the defensive juggernaut, locks down the paint like a fortress. Green, the heart of the Warriors, brings the heat with his unmatched intensity. It's a showdown of styles and personalities, with no punches pulled. The drama escalated when Gobert took to Twitter, accusing Green of dirty play. Green fired back, calling out Gobert's complaints as nothing but whining. The online spat spilled onto the court, erupting into a physical altercation that had fans on the edge of their seats. In a moment that shocked the basketball world, Green found himself in a chokehold from Gobert, igniting a brawl that echoed through the arena. It was a clash of ideologies. Gobert, the old-school enforcer, versus Green, the modern-day playmaker. The feud isn't just about basketball, it's a clash of egos and legacies. Gobert's 2-time Defensive Player of the Year awards versus Green's championship, rings, and defensive prowess. As the dust settles, one thing's for sure, the Gobert-Green saga is far from over. With each jab and jab back, they add another chapter to NBA lore. So, strap in tight. This hoops showdown is just getting started, and there's no telling where it'll go next. But before we continue, make sure to like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. 4. Nikola Jokic and the Morris twins. The beef between Nikola Jokic, the Serbian-born Denver Nuggets star center, and the Morris twins, Markieff and Marcus, has roots in a series of confrontations on the basketball court. One of the most notable incidents occurred during a game between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat in November 2021. In that game, Markieff Morris delivered a hard foul on Jokic, which led to retaliation from the Serbian center. Jokic shoved Morris in the back, leading to a scuffle between players from both teams. The altercation didn't end there. In the aftermath, Marcus Morris, Markieff's twin brother who plays for the Los Angeles Clippers, took to social media to defend his brother and exchange words with Jokic. This further fueled the animosity between the parties involved. The tension escalated when the Nuggets faced the Clippers later in the season. During a game in January 2022, Jokic and Marcus Morris got into a heated exchange, with Jokic ultimately retaliating with a hard foul on Morris. The incident resulted in Jokic being ejected from the game and subsequently fined by the league. The beef between Jokic and the Morris twins has become a storyline within the NBA, adding an extra layer of intensity to matchups involving these players and their respective teams. Now, with every future matchup, we can only hope they'll throw some hands. 3. Paul George and Devin Booker. On January 3rd, 2021, George and Booker engaged in a heated exchange after Booker's teammate, Cameron Payne, collided with George while attempting to block his shot. Booker defended his teammate by calling out George, labeling him as soft. George fired back, cautioning Booker to mind his words as the verbal sparring continued even as they were separated. Their rivalry has persisted since, with notable encounters in the playoffs. The Suns triumphed over the Clippers in the 2021 Western Conference Finals, seizing the advantage with Kawhi Leonard sidelined due to injury. Phoenix repeated their success in the subsequent postseason, eliminating LA in the first round, although both George and Leonard were absent this time. One of Booker's standout moments came against George in 2020 when he clinched a 35-point performance with a game-winning shot over him and Leonard. The feud took another turn this summer when George asked Klay Thompson about his 4 rings jab at Booker during a Podcast P episode. Thompson's response didn't sit well with George, prompting Booker to suggest on Instagram that it wasn't the answer George hoped for. George responded to that comment from Booker during a Twitch stream, calling it a sorry-ass response from the Suns star. This exchange is just another installment in their ongoing rivalry, primarily manifesting on the court whenever they face off. When questioned about it before a game against the Clippers, Booker downplayed the tension, remarking, "It's just hoops, man. It's competitive. It never lives off the floor. It's fine." 2. Chris Paul and Patrick Beverley. Over time, these individuals have engaged in intense conflicts, leading to arguments and physical altercations on occasion. The most notable incident occurred when Beverley, then playing for the Los Angeles Clippers, forcefully pushed CP3 from behind. The origins of the animosity between these seasoned guards remain unclear. Beverley once recounted an encounter at a LeBron James camp where Paul was present, claiming he destroyed him, which seemingly carried over into their NBA rivalry. Their ongoing feud shows no signs of ending. Their mutual disdain has been extensively documented. And based on Paul's recent appearance on Draymond Green's podcast, it appears unlikely that the point guard for the Golden State Warriors will extend any gestures of reconciliation in the near future. When asked about Beverley's comment that he was useless and a chair on defense, CP3 responded,
"First and foremost, I was, a pair of lips to say anything. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, and I get it. I done had many times in my career where somebody done said this or said that. You know what I mean? And I know people looking for sound bites and all this, but the work speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So I still compete on defense, you know what I'm saying, every night as best as I'm probably not the defender I was some years ago, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Pat Bev's critique of Paul's defensive capabilities may stem more from personal animosity toward his rival rather than from an objective assessment. This criticism emerged in May 2022, during a period when Mr. 94 Feet and the Minnesota Timberwolves were already eliminated from the playoffs, and Bev appeared on ESPN to publicly criticize CP3, who was then playing for the Phoenix Suns. It's worth noting that there might be some confusion regarding Green's recollection of Bev's remarks. In reality, the former second-round pick labeled Paul as a cone, asserting that he can't guard anybody, and encouraging others to join in the criticism akin to what Ben Simmons and Paul George had experienced. Despite Bev's assertions, many may find it difficult to side with him considering Paul's impressive defensive accolades, including 7 All-Defensive First Team and 2 All-Defensive Second Team selections, as well as leading the league in steals for 6 seasons. Undeniably, Paul's defensive abilities have waned over time, especially as he approaches his 40s. Nevertheless, both observational evidence and advanced statistics suggest that he remains one of the few players on the Warriors actively engaged in defensive efforts during this season. So now we're excited because meetings between these two usually deliver fireworks. We'll mark the calendar for the 2 times they face off this season in the 22 times they have matched up against one another. Each protagonist has won 11 apiece. Many eyes will be on them the next time they duke it out. Now, before our last pick, make sure to like the video and turn on notifications. 1. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. The league leader in technical fouls, Draymond Green, unsurprisingly finds himself atop our list. His knockout right hand against former teammate Jordan Poole is well documented. The incident unfolded amidst heightened tensions during a scrimmage. Green, known for his fiery demeanor and leadership on the court, reportedly confronted Poole, a young guard, over what he perceived as lackluster effort and defensive lapses. The timeline of events leading up to the confrontation reveals a brewing tension between Green and Poole. The scrimmage began with Green and Poole on opposing teams, with Green's squad dominating early on. As the game progressed, frustrations mounted, culminating in a heated exchange between the two players. Witnesses reported that Green admonished Poole for his defensive shortcomings, urging him to elevate his level of play. Poole, in turn, responded defiantly, leading to a physical altercation wherein Green allegedly punched Poole in the face. The fallout from the incident reverberated throughout the Warriors organization. Both players were temporarily removed from practice, and tensions within the team came to the forefront. While Green and Poole downplayed the altercation in public statements, emphasizing their commitment to moving forward, reports surfaced suggesting underlying friction between the two. The incident shed light on broader issues within the Warriors roster. Green, a seasoned veteran and vocal leader, has been instrumental in the team's success over the years. However, his confrontational style has occasionally caused rifts within the organization. Poole, on the other hand, represents the next generation of talent for the Warriors, with potential to play a significant role in the team's future success. In the aftermath of the altercation, Warriors management and coaching staff faced the task of reconciling the rift between Green and Poole while maintaining team cohesion. The incident served as a wake-up call for the organization, prompting a reassessment of team dynamics and communication strategies. Efforts were made to address underlying tensions and foster a more positive and supportive environment moving forward. Despite this, the beef seems far from squashed and is still occasionally in the public limelight due to Draymond never shutting up about it. Poole, who joined the Washington Wizards following unsuccessful attempts by the Warriors to reconcile, has chosen to remain silent. He typically responds with cliches, deflective statements, and humorous gestures, although he hinted at Green's loudmouth in a recent Instagram story. One thing's for sure, these dudes hate each other. Well, y'all, that's all we have for now, but don't forget to subscribe for more NBA content.